Hi everyone, this is Dr. Michele Alignay, your family psychologist. Welcome to Coffee Break with Dr. Michele. I'm going to have conversations with you about family life, relationships, and faith, and I hope you join our conversations here at this YouTube channel. Good morning, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break with Dr. Michele Alignay, another Thursday morning for discussion on family life and relationship. Kumusta kayo ngayong Webes? Kumusta kayo? Today is July 16. We're halfway through the month of July. So, kumusta po kayong lahat? I am eager to be able to be with you this morning and to discuss a topic. Sabi ko sa inyo, I like topics na hindi natin madalas pag-usapan pero kailangan. So, bago ang lahat, magkumustahan tayo. How are you this morning? How are you doing? How are you with life? How are you with work? So, good morning, Roville and Thea. It's nice to be with you. Today, I'm going to talk about healthy boundaries. Ano ba yung healthy boundaries? How do you really see boundaries? So, ang gusto kong tanungin, friends, what's the first word that comes to your mind when you hear the word boundaries? Yan. Ano yung una mong naiisip when you hear the word boundaries? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word boundaries? So, that's our topic, healthy boundaries. So, ano bang meron sa relasyon ba? May healthy boundaries? So, please share with me through the comment section what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word boundaries. So, itong topic natin ngayong araw na to, kailangan ng kape. So, limitations. Very good, Rowell. What else? Good morning, Anna. It's nice to be with you. And Ate Ami, good morning then. So, what do you mean by boundaries? Protecting yourself. Ang lalim naman agad niyan. Yeah, but that's very true. So, what do you mean by boundaries? Limits. Okay. Boundaries are like limits. Sabi nga, meron tayong sariling gate. Parang sa bahay, we protect our fence. We protect our perimeter. Kumbaga, kung marami kayong tabi-tabing lupa, yung boundary setting is yung parang hanggang dito lang, hindi ka pwedeng pumasok. No trespassing, ika nga. So, ano yung mga usual issues that happens when the boundaries that restrictions, kung ang boundary sa isang relasyon ay hindi malinaw? Yan. Can you share this with me? Ano yung sagot nyo? Ano yung, ating tanong ha, ano yung possible problems kung mayroon parang very unclear and the diffuse boundaries in relationship? Ano yung sa tingin nyo, in your objective thinking, ano yung sa tingin nyong madalas mangyari kung hindi maayos ang boundary, ang limits, ang restrictions sa isang relasyon. Sa relasyon muna tayo. Kasi yung relasyon na yan, kahit mag-asawa, it applies to the family. At ang pinakamalaki, alam nyo na yan sa mag-asawa. So, alam nyo yung pinakamalaking concern natin with boundary setting? It's even in our families. Family of origin, yung ating pinanggalingang pamilya, kung saan tayo lumaki, yung magulang natin at mga kapatid natin, minsan hindi natin napapansin, dyan tayo walang boundaries. Yan. I have a question for you, Fred. So, please answer my question. What do you think happens when there's a lack of boundaries between people in relationship? Ano yung madalas na nangyayari? Can you answer? Meron ba kayong sagot ngayong araw na to? May baon ba kayong sagot, friends? So, shall I wait for you to answer? What happens if there's lack of boundary? Kung kulang, kung hindi malinaw, malabo, so what happens? So, later on, let's expound on that. Kung hindi nyo kayang sagutin, it's okay. Pero let's go back to some songs. War. War ba? Actually, Roville, pwede siyang war. Pero alam nyo, mas madalas, internal war. Hindi yan mostly walang discipline. Hindi yan mostly nakakadrain ng energy. Yes, tama yan. Hindi samaan ng loob between husband and wife. Question mark. Mark Conrad, nate-take advantage ka. Lack of privacy. Okay, i-define natin ng maayos, ha? Okay, how? Ito yung kanta. How do I live without you? Is it correct or is it flawed? Yan. Sabihin niyo sa akin, that line, that song from Shania Twain na madalas kantahin sa, what do you call that? Madalas kantahin sa karaoke, sa videoke. How can I live without you? Is it truth or is it flawed? In applying it to relationship, is it tama ba yun or is it flawed thinking? What do you think? How can I live without you? Is this thing, okay, what was the question? How can I live without you? That's the song. How can I live without you? Is it flawed or is it the truth? Anything? Any insight? Do you agree with that line or you disagree? Yan. Kasi sinasabi nyo, lack of communication, nati-take advantage, sama ng loob. Eh, di ba normal lang naman yan? So, tingnan natin kung alam nyo talaga. Okay, sabi ni Rowell, I don't believe that. For me, it's not true. Well, actually, thank you for answering, Rowell. Hindi talaga flawed thinking yung I cannot live without you. So, ibig sabihin ba, pag namatay siya, mamamatay ka na rin dapat? Okay, another one. Yeah, Shine, ang bilis mo. Of course, we know that. That's called codependency. Another thing, I'll say yes to you. Yan. Pero meron, I'll still say yes to you again. Ayan. My darling, for you, I'll do it all again. So, is it a flawed song or is it a truth? Do you agree with that song? I'll say yes to you again. Je, what do you mean by that? If you are dependent on your partner, yes. Kaya tayo nag-uusap about healthy boundaries. Roe v. Short for Roe v. May. Roe v. May na lang, mas maganda. Okay? So there, I'll say yes to you. Is it correct or is it wrong? I'll say yes to you all over and all over again. Anong sagot niyo dyan? Tingnan natin tong sagot ng mga nandito sa aking watch party, sa aking mga kaibigan. Heidi, Gladys, hi Shine, hi Trixie, hi Maybell. Oh, nanonood ang asawa ko. Hi Kutz, hi Ate Cookie, hi Tita Josie. So, do you agree with that song? Bakit ko tinatanong? I'll say yes to you again and again and again. Kahit mali na yung paghingi, I'll say yes to you. Paulit-ulit. Yeah, it's giving your partner a chance. Pero until what point? Yan. I want to challenge your thinking. Until what point do you keep saying yes? Until what point? Because if you keep saying yes, bakit oo ka ng oo? Kasi mahal mo. Pero kung mahal mo, tapos iyon yung proseso na naaabuso ka na parang niloloko ka na lang, tapos liligawan ka, oo ka ulit, yan yung magandang maisip nyo, friends. So, another thing, I'll say yes to you. Yes, depende sa sitwasyon. Pero we're talking about boundaries here. It's we have this tendency to continue pleasing others. We are afraid to say no. Hindi po ba? Yan yung madalas nagiging problema ng madami. Actually, in the Filipino family, it is very, very crucial. Ang ibig ko sabihin, kasi tayong mga Pinoy, makakarinig ka sa angkan mo, sa pamilya mo, kung hindi ka mapagbigay, kung for example, kailangan tumulong, ikaw yung hindi tumutulong. We feel that our sense of worth is connected to what we give our family. Pero ito yung mangyayaring mali. We always, sometimes, even parents like us, we tied, ito yung sinasabi ko madalas, I don't know if you've heard me say this, but our sense of being a parent is tied to being a mother. That's true. But we are trying to make our children complete us. We are trying to make our marriage complete us. So, ang isang paboritong line ng madami is that you complete me. Ayan. Do you remember this line? This line is it flawed or is it truth? So, you complete me. Kahit kanino mo yung sinabi mo, sa matalik mong kaibigan, sa asawa mo lalo na sa mga anak mo. Does your kids complete you? You heard that they complete me. They are my life. Ang masakit doon, look at it this way. What if the person no longer functions healthily? Will he still or she will still complete you? What if your kids leave you so you are no longer complete? So, do you catch what I'm saying here? Saying we complete, yes, your kids complete us in all ways, but what if your kids are no longer under your care? What if your kids are having a life of their own? Kaya maraming nangyayari, nagiging hovering helicopter parents. Yung lahat, kailangan, gusto nilang umupo sa klase ngayong learning from home situation. Kasi ayaw, nakikita ko yung anak ko, ayoko makitang inaapian, hindi tinatawag ng teacher. We are over-functioning to the point that the relationship, it's becoming codependent and too dependent on each other. So, let us define boundaries here. Di ba? Kaya ako, I personally don't say that my kids complete me, my husband completes me. No, because I would like them to be the one to complement my life. Kasi, honestly, masakit man isipin, pwede silang mawala. Pwede silang magkabuhay ng sarili. And also, meron talaga silang ibang plano. Yung husband ko, pwedeng kami. Pero, what if siya yung naging source of disappointment? Kaya maraming hindi nila makita yung sarili nila apart from their husband, apart from their family, apart from their relationship. Kasi, ang thinking nila, how can I live without you? Hindi ko kayang mabuhay nang wala ka. Kahit na nasaktan ako paulit-ulit, oo pa rin ako sa'yo. Pangalawa, I just have to please you. Kung anong gusto mo, ibibigay ko. So, is it over-functioning and too dependent? Yes. It's, naghahalo-halo yan. Pwedeng hindi present yung iba. But what are boundaries? Boundaries is really reflecting on how we make decisions towards our relationship. Halimbawa, isang family member, lagi na lang, ito common to for Filipino, bato-bato sa langit ang tamaan. Sorry, but this is really happening. This is a lot has to do with the Filipino psyche. Yung nagpapalaki ng anak, binibigay natin lahat sa mga anak natin only to find out na hindi natin kilala yung sarili natin. Binigay mo lahat sa marriage, you give your all, you give your best years, nakalimutan mo asikaso yung sarili mo, nakalimutan mong in-nourish yung sarili mong talent, sarili mong gift, tapos nahanap mo lang yung sarili mo sa pamilya mo. That's okay. But at a certain point, we should be able to see, hey, what will life be apart from them? Sino ba ako kung wala sila? Kailangan makita. We need to see ourselves apart from them, and that is critical. Another thing, in the psyche of the Filipino, we are very enmeshed in many ways, meaning we are expected to give to our family, especially kung tayo yung nakakaangat sa buhay. Tama ba? Lalo na ngayon na meron tayong financial challenge with many families. Kung ikaw yung may pera, ikaw yung mag-share. Tama ba yon o mali? Tama. Pero, kung yung mga kapamilya ay hindi na sila nagtatrabaho at umaasa na lang sa'yo na nagkakanda, I have to use this Tagalog word, nagkakanda kuba, nagpapakahirap ka just to be able to work, to earn a living, is it still healthy? Friends, healthy pa ba yun? Nakikita natin sila parang tambay-tambay at petik-petik. malakas naman sila. Pero tayo, nagpapakapuyat sa paghihirap to put food on the table, to provide. Kaya alam niyo yung notion na hindi kailangan kong pag-aralin to, kailangan kong palakihin. Yes, masarap tumulong, naiintindihan ko yan. Pero kung yung tinutulungan natin, hindi tinutulungan yung sarili, that is a question mark. Bibitawan ko yan sa inyo. So, dito papasok yung boundary. Hanggang saan lang tayo dapat tumulong. Because boundary setting, that is part of, if we feel na kailangan ko kasi mahal ko eh. Pero alam nyo, maraming forms of love. Meron ng tinatawag na tough love. Hindi ko alam kung narinig nyo na yung tough love na kaya mo to, hihindian kita ngayon. I will put my foot down in this issue because I need you to learn things the hard way. Balikan natin yung magulang natin. Hindi ba nung maliit tayo, binigyan din nila tayo ng tough love? Hindi nila binigay sa atin lahat ng luho na kailangan natin para matuto tayo. Same with our kids now. Hindi natin pwedeng ibigay sa kanila lahat because hindi pwedeng gawin natin sa kanila lahat. And same even with our family, especially our families who are, adults already. Ganito yan. Paano kung kailangan mong tumulong? Paano kung wala? Minsan nag-reflect kami ng ganyan. I think kung talagang hirap na hirap sa buhay at may effort sila na magtrabaho kahit sa napakaliit na paraan, I think it's okay to help. Kasi nakikita mo may effort, pero kulang. Pero kung ang nagiging default is nandyan naman yung isang tao para asahan, and then it's no longer fair. Kasi pareho naman tayo may kakayahan eh. Pareho tayo may kapasidad. Tayo ay nagiging matiisin. Pero is that healthy or unhealthy? Maybe short term, it's okay. Pero long term, friends, how will it affect you? How will it affect the whole relationship? Did we allow them to be independent? Yan yung boundary. The boundary that's defined is what it was said by Linda Esposito in an article in Psychology Today. The invisible line drawn around yourself to identify you from others. Napakalinaw. The invisible line, so yun yung sinasabi ko, meron kang psychological self, meron tayong parang psychological space, even sa bahay, which defines us, I, from others. Remember the I and the we, ako at kayo. Kaya mo bang ma-differentiate? Ito, how would you know if that's your boundary setting? Can you differentiate your decision na sa sarili mo or dahil nadala ka lang ng iba or dahil bandwagon or dahil gusto ng pamilya mo, wala kang choice kundi gustuhin mo na rin. Ayan, that is where your boundaries lie. That is where boundaries are very critical. From feeling and thought, from your feelings, you have to understand also that your feelings and thoughts are theirs. Hindi automatic na ito yung pananaw, prinsipyo ng pamilya mo, automatic sa'yo yan. Because even though if we love our family too much, we are still a separate individual from them. We are entitled to our own thinking, our own feeling, and our own way of doing things. We are entitled to that. Ang madalas natin makita parang in the Filipino family, the common sickness is that the self is lost in translation. Kasi we feel that dapat decision ng isa lahat, dapat solid. Yes, but it doesn't mean solid. Dapat lahat mararamdaman mo kung anong naramdaman nila. Paano kung talagang hindi talaga? Kaya nagiging cycle yan. Nagiging pattern yan. Where are you in the relationship? And the boundaries is about structure, it's about order, it's about having black and white things, it's setting the right tension for your life. And boundaries, yes, may tension pa rin. Yes, may concern. But you need to be flexible and to be fluid in how you set your boundaries. So, there are two things. Either just the boundary is very, very rigid. Ito yung mahirap. Yung bang hindi ka na nabubuwag. Pag sinabi niyang hindi. Ito yung kaya may nagsabi kanina, it depends. Yes, it depends. But you are clear with yourself. I am not them, and this is me. So here, people, ito yung mahirap, friends. People in relationships, when the boundaries are very, very gray, parang halos walang boundary, that becomes there's a lot of psychological distress that happens in the relationship. Doon po nagmumula yung relationship problem, doon nagmumula yung tinatawag na codependency, kasi parang pakiramdam natin na we need to be giving, we need to continue saying yes, we need to keep supporting, even though that there is already an existing abuse in the relationship, results from so it's psychological distress. Nangyayari yan kung sobrang rigid or sobrang loose yung boundaries. Like, for example, somebody will, in the family will, just get your things. Yung bang, kahit walang paalam, kinukuha yung gamit mo. I think kasi sometimes in our own family may ganyan. Pero kung hindi ka naman magsasalita, hindi nila malalaman na ayaw mo. So, you're setting your foot down. Ang tanong, pag nagsalita naman ako, nagagalit sila. Normal lang yun because that's tension. When tension happens, so there is friction, and then there is, parang binabalansin nyo, okay, regain balance. Hindi naman natin sinabing makasakit. You are just trying to set our foot down. The thing is, people have a hard time speaking their mind out because they feel they might be rejected. Another thing is that they feel that their family might think of them differently at sila yung nagiging masama. Depende yan sa tono at depende yan sa intensyon kung paano natin sinabi. And we have to really reflect on that because setting boundaries is really, really, really difficult. Especially kung lumaki na tayo, matanda na tayo at sa pamilya natin, we have loose boundaries. But I'm telling you, meron tinatawag in the family life cycle na may tinatawag na point ng failure to launch. Ito ay isang common na phenomenon sa buhay ng mga Pilipino. Ano yon? Mga anak na hindi pa makaalis sa poder ng magulang at dependent pa pati yung pag-aaral ng apo at yung lolo at lola pa rin ang nagtatrabaho. Anong ginagawa ng parents? May parents na kung meron trabaho, meron wala. Minsan, okay lang walang trabaho. Minsan, may bagong gadget. You understand what I'm saying here? Kasi, hindi sila na-empower ng magulang to be independent, to be autonomous. Friends, honestly, the goal of parenting is to raise our children not to need us. Masakit man isipin, pero yun yung kailangan nating tiisin. Para sa akin, hindi titiisin yung abuse. Hindi titiisin yung ako na lang lagi yung nagbibigay. Ang sa akin dapat tinitiis. Dapat tiisin ko na hindi ako magbigay. Dapat tiisin ko to say no. I want to feel uncomfortable. I want to feel comfortable with the thought of being uncomfortable in this relationship because we grow in the process. Bakit ko to sinasabi? Yes, kahit sa relasyon sa asawa, importante to. Hindi ko pwedeng gawin lahat para sa kanya kasi who will he be? Say, are you getting me here? Hindi natin pwedeng gawin lahat sa anak natin because that's the boundary that we have. So we cannot just barge in because how will that affect in the long term? So isipin yon, nasaan po tayo sa relasyon natin? Are we setting healthy boundaries? So how do we set healthy boundaries? Ang hirap isipin, pero kung ilalagay mo sa sarili mo, i-drawing natin yan na parang may bahay bawat tao. Can you identify the uniqueness of each person in your family? Can you identify the common emotion of each person in your family? Can you identify your own strength, your own weakness, and that of the other family? Because that is a dynamic process. And can you identify who you are in the family and where you stand in your family? This is very critical. As I said, what if malaki at matanda na ang anak, 22 at 23, pwede pa ba i-correct? Okay, ma'am ne, kung i-correct mo yung anak mo, may relasyon ba kayong malalim at makikinig pa ba sa inyo? Honestly, we can only suggest, we can only correct, but the decision will rely on them. Ito yung boundary setting. Kasi ideally, pag mga 21 or 22 na yung anak natin, we try to let go. Mag-i-input tayo, magsasuggest tayo, pero alam nyo, at the end of the day, hindi na talaga tayo yung gagawa ng desisyon para sa kanila. Minsan may na-encounter ako, she seek my help kasi gusto niyang pasunurin yung anak niya. But nung malaman ko kung ilang taon yung anak, kala ko 15, yung pala 25. Kasi yung anak, gusto ni mommy ganito, pero hindi yun yung gusto kong buhay. Do you remember that old telecommunications commercial, yung kung saan ka masaya, suportahan kita? That's the one. That's a very clear boundaries. So the father honored the boundary of the son. Kasi minsan, gusto natin silang i-save from harm. And that is really us parents. Ayoko kitang masaktan. Ayoko kitang mahirapan. Pero in the process, na sinave natin sila, natutunan ba nila yung dapat nilang matutunan? Natutunan ba nilang magkamali? At itaas ulit yung sarili nila sa pagkakamali? Natutunan ba nilang na mahirapan para dala nila yung hugot ng hirap na yun sa susunod. So you have to reflect on that. So how do we set healthy boundaries? First, set your limits. Know where you stand and know what you value. Kaya napaka-importante, friends, at setting boundaries, you need to have a very high self-awareness. If you lack that self-awareness, hindi mo kilalahan sarili mo, then that is the time na talagang kahit ano ang ialok sa'yo, kahit sinong mangutang sa'yo, kahit sinong manligaw sa'yo, you just say yes. Why? Hindi mo kilala sarili mo eh. You know, there are people who goes to from one relationship after another because they're looking for somebody to depend their worth, to depend who they are. Remember, you complete me. They feel that somebody will complete them. But they don't realize that they're supposed to be full in themselves and that kung tayo'y buo sa sarili, we know where the other stands. Diyan ka lang, you cannot penetrate me. We complement side by side, but you cannot merge with me. That is setting boundary. Setting limits. Know where you stand and know what you value. But I will add to this, know who you are. And that is critical. The second, say no. Friends, are you comfortable saying no? If you are comfortable saying no, can you type there in the comment section no? Kung komportable kayo sa pagsasabi ng no, can you put there in that comment section? As I wait for your answer, may mga tao na lahat inoohan, lahat ng mag-alok, lahat ng hindi nahiya kasi ako eh. Baka sabihin ganito. Ayan, yan, very Pinoy yan. Be comfortable in saying no because there are tendency that we spread ourselves too thin. Anong ibig sabihin? Binibigay mo lahat sa iba yung sarili mo, but we forgot to give credit to yourself. So, agree with you, Doktora, better to do early with your children's husband and be honest too with yourself in dealing with others. Yes, no. Are you comfortable saying no? Thank you for saying no. Ayan, ang daming nagno-no. Do you know that saying no, that's very clear that you want to give credit to yourself. At saying no, it doesn't mean that you're bad. Sometimes saying no, you don't need to explain yourself. Wag na kayo minsan maghanap ng solusyon. Pero sometimes you just need to say no simply because not for now, I hope you respect it. Tapos. Kasi minsan ayaw mong makasakit. Okay? So there. You have to learn that. So, yes, ma'am, that's very good. You're comfortable now because you know myself. Yes, I am comfortable, but not always. Totoo yan, and that's a very good sign, friends, that you are honest na kung kaya mo at hindi. Why do you need to say no? I think I mentioned that in one of my coffee break sessions. When you say no to some, you say yes to you. Kasi you say yes to the long-term effects sa'yo. For example, umuo ka na susuportahan mo tong kapatid, kapamilya mo, ngayon na meron tayong crisis, umuo tayong lahat dyan, papag-aralin mo yung pamangkin mo, or bibigyan mo ng baon, pero to a fault na ikaw nawalan ka ng nagpapakatrabaho ka, nagpapakahirap ka, pero nawalan ka ng savings para sa sarili mo, wala kang health card. Ibig sabihin, so paano pag nagkasakit ka, hindi mo rin binayaran yung sarili mo? That's a common problem. And we keep saying no. Halimbawa, we serve somewhere, sa mga organizations natin, sa community, oo ka ng oo. Hindi mo na trabaho, ino-oohan mo pa. Is that good or bad? Kayo na lang magsabi niyan. Tapos, okay, magre-reklamo na napapagod. So, when you say no to a few, you say yes to you. Because that opportunity that you are saying yes to them, saying no to them, binibigay mo yun sa sarili mo. Kasi kailangan mo siyang, kailangan mo. And then, say things directly. What do I mean? So, set limits, say no, say things directly. Friends, wag na magpaligay-ligay pa. It's always good to be in the tone of in the composure of humility, but saying things directly and nicely, it's very critical. Magkaiba po yung aggressive sa assertive. Yung aggressive, well, you just check social media how aggressive the political system is. And aggressive some people can be. But when you are assertive, I am not letting you treat me that way because I know that I am worth more than that. Masama ba sinabi ko? Can you please stop this? Because I'm not allowing you to treat me that way. Masama po ba yung sinabi ko? Hindi, because that's assertive. And assertive is, I have to say no to this. I have to decline this invitation. I have to decline this. Pero walang gagawa Kailangan ka namin. Yes, I understand. But right now, I cannot. And saying things directly. Huwag na tayo magpaligay-ligay pa, lalong napapansin that we are tense. Because we have to say it directly. Especially in terms of putting our boundaries. Hindi kita kayang tulungan dyan ngayon. Ito lang yung kanaya ko. Do you need to explain na hindi mo kaya? Hindi. Kung yun lang yung kakayahan, period. So be it. Self-assurance. Do not be guilty. That's the fourth, self-assurance. Do not be guilty about what others say. Do not self-doubt. I think the bigger problem that we have, that's why it's hard for us to put boundaries, healthy boundaries, is that we are afraid that other people will think bad of us. We are afraid kung ano yung sasabihin ng iba. Alam nyo, sa aking pananaw, kung may sabihin sila, does it reflect me or does it reflect them in the long run? Kasi if we were going to anchor lahat ng desisyon natin sa sasabihin ng ibang tao, that's people pleasing. Because wala naman talagang masasabing sa lahat, kahit na mabuti yung gawin mo, kahit mabuti yung gawin natin, minsan, friends, ang hirap. Kasi may maririnig pa rin tayong maganda at mabuti. So, self-assurance, pag ginawa na natin yung the best natin, ginawa natin yung kapakanan ng iba, ginawa natin yung makakaya natin, do not self-doubt because you've given your all and that is okay. And do not be guilty about others, what will others may say. Ngiti lang tayo, let go mo na lang yon, and don't let yourself be anchored with the words or the negativity that other people have, and that is being self-assured. So set your limits, say no, say it directly, assurance. And another one, see the other side or see the silver lining. Sabi nga ni Catriona Gray, there's always a silver lining. Another S yan. See the other side of things. Like this pandemic. Yes, it can be a time actually to test the boundaries. Pero minsan yung pag-no natin, we can only hope na sana matutunan nila na tumayo sa sariling paa. Kasi pinipilit kong tumayo sa sarili kong paa. Kasi I still have kids na nakadepende sa akin at kailangan ko rin tulungan. Diba? Yun eh. So you have to see that silver lining. You have to know that in the process, na kahit na nahihirapan tayo, it's an opportunity for us to grow, to learn, and to move forward. So, wag na tayong ma-stuck. Don't let your energies be stuck with the past or with what happened yesterday. Let's move forward and see everything as an opportunity to learn. Okay, and number 6, stay consistent. Be consistent. Model what you say to your kids and family. sabi nga, mean what you say and say what you mean. Yun yung consistent. Internal and external consistency. Do not overfunction or overcompensate. Yung magno-no ka, hihindian mo, tas after a while, susuyuin mo rin. You can be nice, but don't, kaya yung nangyayari yung psychological blackmail o kaya may emotional blackmail na tinatawag. Kasi people can make us feel guilty. And if they get into our system and we feel guilty kasi hindi natin binigay yung gusto nila, and then, kaya tayo nag-overcompensate. Bawa, nag-no tayo sa anak natin, meron tayong hindi pinayagan, sige, bilan na lang kita ng ganito kasi sumama loob mo sa akin. As much as we can, stay consistent. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And then, last point, S pa rin. Remember, the first one, set your limits. 2, say no. 3, say it directly. 4, self-awareness. 5, see the other side or see the silver lining. 6, stay consistent. 7, start small. Friends, lalo na dun sa kung nahihirapan kayo, start with self-awareness. Start with checking where you are in this relationship. Start with checking kung naasan ka nakatayo. Remember my topic on emotional distancing? Setting healthy boundaries is emotional distancing. You do not need to involve yourself too much with people who drains you, who brings out the worst in you, and whom we call emotional vampires. Ito yung boundary setting. Ops, huwag kang mag-penetrate sa akin. Ayoko kitang mapunta sa sistema ko kasi ang daming nangangailangan sa akin. Kailangan ko ng pamilya ko, kailangan ko magtrabaho. I will focus on this. Start small. Take things slowly and seriously. Small steps, sabi nga ng Milo, small steps brings you a great thing. Start from small beginning. So have to start small. Why do you need to put healthy boundaries? This to end. Balikan natin. Why do we need to put healthy boundaries? Because we love our family. We love the people we are with. We love our significant relationships. And love doesn't mean always giving everything. Because love sometimes needs us to withhold something. So both of us don't only love, but both of us grows in the process. We both grow. There's growth in the relationship. Lumago ka, lumago ako. And in the process, natutunan mo. Because I withhold this, hindi kita sinuportahan, hindi dahil sa hindi kita mahal, dahil mahal kita, dahil kailangan mong matutunan yan. When we do that, we support the welfare of the other person. Because other people can be able to stand on their own to fulfill their mission. Diba? Paano ba tayo mag-training? Hindi naman tayo nag-train ng ginagawa natin para sa ibang tao yung trabaho. We train by giving them the right principles, supporting them sa simula, and then slowly, we let go. So that they can meet their purpose in life and you can meet your purpose in life. But if we become so busy saying yes to everything, baka sabihin mo, hindi yun talaga yung mission ko to take care of everybody. Yes, it can be a mission, but do not anchor your worth on everybody. Because baka, you have to check, is it about ministry or it's about ministry? Ministry, pinupuno nila yung nararamdaman ko, I feel needed, or so ikaw pala yung walang healthy boundary, or kasi nakakatulong ako, and that is a mission, that is your ministry. So the purpose of this is to love. Why do we set healthy boundaries? To love, to grow, and to help other people fulfill their life mission. Huwag natin gawing paralytic. Huwag natin gawing imbalido yung iba by doing things that they can do for themselves. We have to help empower other people so they can find their life purpose. In the process, we learn our life purpose. That's what healthy boundaries is all about. Friends, this is not easy. It's going to be difficult, but with small steps and with God's grace, we can be very self-aware of what is it for us. And I hope this coffee break session has helped you so that you can have better relationships. Hindi naman laging masaya. Minsan, we need to step our foot down. because that's what relationships and love is really all about. They don't complete us, they complement us, and that's healthy boundaries. Thank you for joining me this Thursday in Homemade. Next week, I will announce in my Facebook page. I think on Tuesday, I will have another time slot because I have to conduct an online workshop for a school, and then for those of you who are still interested, we run the first session of my digital family session last night. Thank you for those who attended. I will still run 2 sessions next Wednesday and the next. You can still look for that link wherein you can register and catch up. So I hope this coffee break session has helped you better yourself in your family life and relationship. This is Dr. Michele Lignay. I pray that we'll all be better. Please pray with me and please pray for me as we continue doing this mission. God bless you all and may you have the best relationships.